Hello, hello everybody, how are you? It's Miriam here at Paper Wheel Studio. Back in my craft room today, I'm doing the 100-day project where I post a video every day for 100 days where I have done crafting. So today I want to try some hidden journaling spots. I've seen these done. It's not my idea. I just have my own little twist on it because I try to do things, make it to be the easiest for me that I can possibly do. So that's what I try to do. And I'm going to give you my take on these. So for what you will need to do this way, you will need you could use library cards. You could use index cards, 3x5 index cards. And I also have this piece of Tim Holtz paper, cardstock of some kind that came in a pack that I had in one of his packs of stuff I bought somehow. And I'm pretty sure it's a Tim Holtz piece from one of the older packs or something. I'm not sure. And I have these coin envelopes. My coin envelopes size-wise are, let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and fold my flap closed because we want it to be closed. And then I'm going to get my ruler here that's buried under here somewhere. I know I had a few minutes ago. Yep, there we are. Okay. And I'm going to measure this and I'll tell you what the size of them are. They're the Mr. Pen brand that I got. I got them from Amazon. They are about, what, 3.5 by 6.5? Yeah, that's what I'd say. 3.5 by 6.5. So this is what I'm using for mine. Obviously my index card is short for it, but that's okay. It will not matter the way we're doing these. And this one, I'm just going to simply cut it to fit. And I'm going to use it, and I'm going to use an index card. I don't want to use my library card with this one. However, you could use library cards with these very easily. So I'm just going to lay my cards off to the side here for now. And I'm going to go ahead and glue my envelope closed. Oops, I got laid back there. Let's get it in my glue holder here. And this has got something on it, but it's going to get covered up, so it really doesn't matter. So you want a couple coin envelopes if you're going to do it this way. You could also use regular, not the business size, but the smaller size envelopes. They would work for something like this, and then you could cut a piece of cardstock to match if that's what you happen to have. Or you could make yourself an envelope out of digitals and do the same thing. So I'm just going to glue that shut. And I'm going to do this. I'm making 2 today, so I'm going to kind of do the same thing the other one that I do to the first one. Kind of like you do in a mask make here. We'll fold this over and push it down. These are not real heavy duty envelopes. I don't even know if, I think there's a little bit of seal in there, but I just glue them shut. I hate to lick an envelope. That stuff that you put on there and you lick them, I hate that. So, there we go. So we have them closed. Looks like that flap, I didn't fold it evenly. So let's see if I can even that baby up a little bit more. Yeah, there we go. I think I did. There we go. Much better. Now it looks more even. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and cover my 2 envelopes. We're going to cover them on the front and the back today. So I've got a couple digitals here. And the way I like to do these, because I don't like, I'm not wild about the seam being on the side of these. So I'm going to more or less wrap my envelope like I would a present. So I'm going to cut enough. Let me create a fold in this so I know. It's just easier for me to do it that way. Then I can slip my envelope in there and see how much of this I actually need. It won't take a full sheet, of course. So let's see, we're going to bring this over and fold it along the edge of the envelope. Okay. You can almost do this without an envelope, but I like that envelope base in there. And then I'm just going to fold this back on itself where I want to trim this or cut it. Make sure I'm straight across the top and bottom, which I am. So I'm going to take my envelope back out. And I'm going to push this seam down really good. In fact, I think I'll use my metal ruler to do that. Then I've got a really crisp fold there. And I'm just going to tear along that crisp fold then. It's easier for me to do it this way than to put a ruler down and do it. I just kind of do things my way. Depending on the paper, you fold it back and forth on itself a couple times, and then you can just tear it. Usually it'll break the fibers and not down enough on it. This is just copy paper, and you'll be able to tear it. So do these. You just need one digital or something that will cover your envelope all the way around. Get this started here. Yeah, it's going to tear right along my line without too much problem at all. Here we go. See how easy that is, and you didn't even have to use a ruler. This works real well with coffee paper. Yep, that's all right. It's a quarter. I don't mind the quarter. Lay that to the side for another project. Give me a moment here, folks. I'm going to get me another drink. Much better. Okay. Sorry about that, y'all. I had to get something I dropped here. Okay. So now I have this. And I'm going to come back here with my one of my envelopes that I prepared in advance. It doesn't matter up, down, back, forward, whatever you want to do. So I'm just going to simply put it in here like this. I've got my two sides folded. I'm going to go ahead and fold up this side so I can get a good crease there. And I'm going to fold up this side. Get a good crease on it. Then we'll trim the extras off and we'll glue it down. I'll probably use a glue stick to glue mine down if I have my glue stick handy, or a glue stick handy. If not, I'll use my white glue, just depending on what the glue of your choice. We'll put it that way. You do what you're most comfortable with when you're doing these. All right, so now I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to just be real careful and cut me a little bit of a diagonal here. And then I'm just going to cut out this piece on this side. Okay. Do the same over here. Give me a little diagonal and cut. I'm going to do this on all four corners. Give it a little diagonal. And then come back in and cut just shy or right along the folded line. I don't want to leave the folded line here, so it can be just shy of your folded line. It's not going to show any of your envelope because you've got this piece on the bottom that's going to fold out. That'll work. Okay. Oh. Boy, that was being stubborn. Didn't want to come off there. I cut a little into that, but that's not going to matter. So let's do this down here. Hoping to do two of these. However, we'll see how far one takes us. Like always, I'm going to show you the basic construct. If we have a little time for decorating, we could do that. If not, we'll just do the basic concept, because everybody does their decorating to their liking anyway. So you decorate as you enjoy decorating your pieces and however you want to decorate your journal. It really makes no difference. If that's what you like, that's what you do. You can use scrapbook papers if you like. You could use book pages to do this. You could use digitals. Use whatever paper and envelopes that you would have. A longer envelope, something that is long on one and shorter on another side, would work best. The square envelope probably wouldn't, I mean, you could make it with it, but it probably wouldn't work quite as well. Save these little bits for little collages. If there's a number we can cut out, might do that. For now, I'm just going to lay them to the side. These little pieces come in handy when you need just a little piece to put somewhere. All right, let's see if I have my glue stick handy, and I don't believe, nope, no glue stick today, so we're going to white glue it. I'm just going to put some glue down around my edges here. This would be perfect for a glue stick, but I'm just going to dot some white glue on here and do it that way. I usually dot my white glue because I have a hard time getting a stream, so I'll dot it down and it's these little dots spread out. And now it's going to be wrapped around on the other side, so you want it to stick on here. But if you don't hit every little bit of it, as long as the part that is toward the top is glued down very well, because that's where we're going to be doing some cutting. And we want it to be glued on there very neatly so that it does not come apart. I think I need another couple dots back here where I didn't quite get enough there. But for something like this, I think it's much easier rather than trying to do Fabri-Tac or a white glue. These kind of projects lend themselves when you're covering paper with paper to glue stick. I just think they stick better when you use it. And if you use a good glue stick and really stick it down, you won't have any problem with things coming up usually. Just make sure you get plenty of glue stick on there, because that often will affect it. And I want to make sure this all top is completely covered. Not as worried about the bottom because it's going to be folding up around it. But we'll make sure it's got enough down here. Okay. And I'm going to put it down like this, because this is what, even though it's the bottom of the envelope, it's what I put a bunch of glue on to make the top. So just go put it in here where the folds are. And if I didn't get it exactly right, we'll fold the paper so that it fits it right. Yeah, there we go, that'll work. And we're going to fold the bottom up. Aha. Looks like, I don't know if I want, I'm just going to refold because I don't want to have to take that back up. So I'm just going to refold this part and we can trim it if we need to. So I'm going to fold the top and the bottom in now. Just creating a wrapped envelope. Shame we can't play music in the background, you know, when we're crafting and making videos. But you gotta watch those YouTube copyright laws. YouTube frowns upon music because it's got to be copyrighted music. And I even one time created a video. I used a song they recommended, either on TikTok or YouTube, but I got my video got black marked because that song is not, you're not allowed to play it in one of the foreign countries. Maybe it was Russia. I don't know. It was a Meghan Trainor song. Anyway, they blackballed my video, but I used music off of the site, so that's just odd to me. I don't know. They shouldn't put it on there if it's not legal, wherever they are. Still don't understand how it happened, but I just deleted the video at the time. It wasn't one of my 100-day projects. It's one of my earlier videos when I really didn't know as much what I was doing. I still don't know a lot, but I'm learning every time I record and post something. I learn something new, I think. Alrighty, we got that. And while I'm thinking about it, I'd like to thank all my subscribers, especially all my new ones. We are now up to 200 subscribers, so we're quickly gaining to 500. And like, share, and subscribe. If you're watching my video and you're not subscribed, I encourage you to do so. That way you will be notified when I have more videos. If you hit that little notification button as well, and you'll help us get to 500 subscribers. And when we do, I'm having a special giveaway. I've got ideas on what I'm going to do for my giveaway, which I think everybody will like it, no matter what style of journaling that you like to do. I think you'll find my giveaway useful in some way. And I'm going to wait and tell you what it is when we get closer to it. Again, I'm just spreading out my little dots so that I have enough glue here to do this. Got a little section here to do. If I had my glue stick, this would be going a lot quicker. So I think I'll fully make one instead of trying to do two at a time. And if I get that done, then we'll go ahead and do a second one, which might be a little easier if I do. So I've not actually created one of these, but I have seen it done, and in my mind, theoretically, this is how it'll work. So we'll just see here. Make sure I get the outside of this glued the most. Oops, now I'm getting lines. Ooh, getting better at my glue flow here. I don't know how many I can do it for very long. Aha. Must have more strength today than usual. That's a good thing. I have a form of muscular dystrophy where my muscles get weaker. And depending on what I've done, some days I have a little more energy than others. The problem is, I don't know where when I'm doing things that I haven't overdone it until it's too late. I don't know if any of you all have any chronic conditions like that, when you know it's not something you do every day, but it's something you want to do. So, and you can do it, so you go ahead and do it, but then the next day you pay for it because you have to rest. So, and I will say the 100-day project has been actually a 100-day challenge for me. I posted 3 videos last night, but they weren't all recorded at the same time. I got behind in my postings. It's easy to do when you're trying to put a video up every day, because it's not only the recording of the video you have to do, but you also have to edit. And I don't do a lot of editing with my videos. What I record is what you get, with, you know, some minor exceptions. And make sure I get clear to the edge here, because I want that to be sealed well on this side. Okay. And by doing it like that, I have no upside down numbers on either side. And I do have this funky looking corner because everything slipped on me, but it's all right. I'm not going to be too concerned there. It looks crooked in the top. I don't know. I'm just going to let it be crooked or not, because I think my paper is just crooked. My envelope isn't, but my paper is. Or maybe it's a little bit of both. But, hey, we got this. So now I'm not a craft knifey person here, folks, but it's a small cut, so I'm going to give it a shot. What I want to do now is simply lay this on my mat where I can see, okay, I'm going to put it even with that line, and I just want to make it cut at my 1 inch. Let's go. Let's just do 1.25 inches. I'm going to make a line across here at 1.25 inches. So lay that on that side at 1 inch. Okay. Inch, and there's 1/4. Okay, so I want that to be even with this 7 here. And make my top straight, even though it's crooked. No, I don't want it even with this. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I learn how to read my own mat here. And then I'm going to take my craft knife, and I'm going to go very slowly, because that's what I have to do in order to not hold it up close to my knife. So let's see here. See how we do this. I'm going to turn my knife upside down. Then I have the metal part that my blade's going against. So again, let's do 1 1/4. Oops, that's not quite straight, Miriam. Now it is. 1 1/4, 1 1/4. I got 7 to 8, and there's 1/4. I've got 0 to 1, and there's 1/4. So that's what I want. It's the lines I'm using. Okay, and then I'm just going to gently cut this across. It's got to go through 4 rows of paper. So I'm trying to make sure that I'm straight and don't mess it up. Now, see how far back we went. I got a little unstraight there. However, I'm going to go ahead and take my scissors, because I'm not great at craft knifing. Or cutting with a craft knife. Jeez, Miriam. And once you cut this, you really can't even it up. So, I'm just going to go along here and follow my line. And hopefully this works. Now, you can't come back here and trim either of these up once you cut across. You just got to leave it like it is, because you want this part to go back together, and you want it to match that as best as possible. So, now you're going to take your piece, your index card, open this little bit up, and you're going to take your index card or piece of cardstock. Here is this piece of Tim Holtz cardstock. So I'm going to put it up inside here. And yeah, I'm going to miss that ledger that's written on there, but that's okay. I want it to be all the way up in there, so it'll be nice and secure. So I'm going to come down roughly 1 inch with my glue. Okay, so 1 inch is going to be right about here. That's where I'm going to end with my glue, and I'm going to come up this way. And you got to put glue on both sides of this, so if you want to lay it down for one side, then you got to hold it to put the glue on the other side, because you want glue on both sides. There we go. That covers that bit. I'll turn it over and hold it. And I guess about where my glue would go. Let's see, about right here. And just going to come right across. We got rain and coolness again today. But I'm not turning my furnace on. It's too late in the year to do that, so the furnace is not coming on this weekend. Just because it's cool. Lovely. I don't think the forecast in our area is great for Memorial Day, but it is what it is. And then now I'm just making sure I get this in my center. Okay. And I'm just going to press down on both sides to adhere that down. Oh, now. See what I did here? I put the back side on there, so I'm going to take it off because I want that side in the front. And I'm just simply going to turn it around so that I have that side in the front and press it down again. By mistake. Pay attention that when you put your paper on the top, that you're getting it facing the correct way, so that when you put it together, it will go. And this is going to be too long, so I will go ahead and kind of put it together and simply trim off this end by about an inch. Let's see, let's go straight as we possibly can with scissors. You could use your cutter if you have it handy. I don't happen to have mine handy, so I'm going to do this. And then I'm going to go ahead and do my little fake quarter rounding technique here. I think I showed you this on videos before. I just snipped the little corner off. And then we're going to give this a little more ink. And maybe we'll just go ahead and do one, and I'll go ahead and decorate it while I'm on here. I like to get a lot of ink on my dauber when I ink. I don't know, just preference. I'm using Vintage Photo Distress ink, not oxide. I like the color of it. And see how it's doing on that. Now you want to be real careful when you get here. You could have done this before you glued it in, but you really can be done afterwards fairly easily. Make sure that's good and straight on there, as straight as I got it in there. Worst case scenario, it's a little crooked. Now we're going to take this piece and simply slip it down in our envelope like this. And that goes together. And you can put this in a journal pocket. Yeah, and that's how that paper matched up. You can put this in a journal pocket, decorate it, and you have a hidden journaling spot inside where nobody could read what you just put in there. So, I have my grungy numbers here. I have some labels to the side. I have some of my little cottage girls. I have, what else do I have? Tiny Tim Holtz people. I think they'd be too small for this one. A larger Tim Holtz might work, but I don't have them handy. So let's see what I got in the line of cottage girls. I just love the cottage girls for my porch friends. They're beautiful. Let's see. I have this piece too that we did the other day. And I could trim that up if I wanted. but I'm not going to. I don't want to do that one. Let's see what we got. I think she's too small. We want one of the bigger girls, I believe. Yup. Let's see. She might be good. One of these two. Let's see. I know I have some different colors here. There's all kinds in this bunch. Purple? No. I don't want purple. Pink? Oh. She actually has been the first one that I kind of like on there. Let's see what else I got here. She's a bigger one. Not on that. She's too cartoony. Oh, this one might be pretty. I still like the pink one. I think that's the one I'm going to use. A few more pretty ones here, though. I think I like her. Sorry, you'll be on another one. Or maybe even the little one with the yellows. Oh, there she is. That one's it. That one did it. She coordinates best of all, I think. And I'll pull out some of my labels. And I have some tickets here that I can use as well. I have a few labels from my project the other day. So let's just, and I have some washi tape. So, all right. So we'll put her down. And we want to make sure your decorations don't come up over top of this piece. So you want to make sure they are below that. Let's see what all I have here. I think I have a very large tickety piece here that will work on this. Yep, I do. Yeah. So let's use this piece. And we'll layer it up with a couple others. A couple small pieces that are cool. In addition to some clear labels that I have here. It's alright, it's going to be glued down, so let's just take that out there. And let's see what else that I have here that might work. Something. There's a Guernsey 28p. So let's just take this. These are from the 49 and Market neutrals. It's it's like washi tape, only it's just rolls, ticket rolls. There's a roll of stamps, a couple different kinds of tickets. Let's see here if we put her down like this. No, don't like it there. Do we want it up here? Okay, that's good. I like that there. And maybe there's another label with a number. Let's see what this one says. Ooh, I like it. It's an address, I believe. 34th Street. Cool. All right, so let's see what we got now. Got our little girl. And we have, oops, don't want to put it upside down. I think I had it the other way, but I like it like that better. Yeah, with the numbers on it. And I like that I have a whole bunch of number things here to layer up. So we'll put that on, and then maybe, or put this one down here and come in with this one. Let's try that and use that to bring the two together. Yes, I do like that. And we'll give her a small label down here to stand on at the bottom. Now, I have some white here, And rather than trying to ink it, I am going to trim it a bit. Where I got my paper crooked, so that just hangs over slightly. So I'm just going to trim it there to, yeah, that way it'll look better. So let me get my pieces inked up here, and we'll get them down. Oh, where did sticker go that I just had? Here it is. Don't lose your sticker. And this is just clear. These are kind of already inked up around them, so I'm not going to mess with adding more ink to it. Just going to put it here, across here like that. And she has something she can look as if she's standing on the label. So we'll give her a place to stand. Get me another drink here, folks. Okay. And I'm going to give my girl a little ink around her. Then you won't see these white edges that where I fussy cut her out. My Porch Prints has two fussy cut kits like this. They are, one is Cottage Boys and one is Cottage Girls. And they're both just adorable little cute pictures of kids, really. I'm going to get a little bit in here where that white is, so it doesn't look so stark white. There we go. Now she'll kind of blend in, maybe right. It'll look like she's blending in there with the background. I don't know, it's just a thought. I hope you all are enjoying the videos I've been posting. If you have any ideas or requests for a new one, please comment below. One of my videos got 600 and some views, which is way more than the number of subscribers I have. So if you don't happen to be subscribed, please do so. It does nothing. You'll have to be a subscriber when I do my giveaway. There's no cost. You just simply subscribe, and then when you go on YouTube, you can see who you're subscribed to, and those are the videos that come up first for you. So it's really, that's all in when you subscribe to YouTube, to a channel. Some channels, you can become what they call a member, and there's a paid fee amount for that, and you get extra little perks. I do not have that. And I do not have an Etsy store. The journals I make, I either sell independently to people I know around here. I've not tried to sell any online. I think I posted one and ended up giving it to someone as a gift before it sold. Didn't have it for sale for very long, but and then I made two recently that someone asked me to make. And someone else had asked me to make one for when her daughter graduated from high school, which will be a couple years. So who knows? Alright, so she's good for putting down here. Got lots of glue on her, no white space. See how that just kind of blends in when you use your ink around it and take the white space off? Okay. I like it. I like it. She's slightly over right there, but that's not a big deal. Make sure she's all pressed down well everywhere. Okay. Now, you see what I did there, didn't you? Probably not. Let's see if I'm going to be able to put this down under here. So I'm going to get some glue on this real quick. On the side that, let's see which side goes under her head. This side. And see if I can pull her head back up without ripping it. If I can't, we'll do something else. Okay. Go all over her umbrella hat here. Maybe I can just gently pull it up. Yeah. Oh, thank goodness. I'll have to add more glue to her head, though. Yeah. Thank goodness. I thought I was out of luck there for a minute. Okay, that does not go over my line, so I'm good with that there. Add a little more glue to the back of her hat here, and her head, I guess. All right, so does anyone else talk to their supplies when they're creating things? Like their supplies have a personality or something? Yeah, I know, it's weird, but I do talk to my supplies. Good thing is, none of them have yet answered me. Oh boy. It's true. They say if you talk to yourself, you're not crazy, but if you answer yourself, then you are. So, I don't know. I was a psychiatric nurse, and that never really played true with things. That's what I did when I was working. I was a psychiatric nurse, and prior to quitting working, I was a medical case manager. And I did some bed control at the hospital where I worked. I was an admissions coordinator, worked the day shift, and the doctor's offices would call me to get beds and things like that. And I worked until I could no longer work. It was just too difficult trying to... It takes a lot of energy to get dressed and to leave your house and go to work every day. And I don't like how that piece meets up right there because of that little snaggy. But I'm almost afraid to try to do anything about it. So we're just going to leave it. We're going to leave it right where it is. And I'll come along here and just nip the little corner off of her hat because it hangs over my edge. I'm afraid it'll rub on something, get popped off there. Or torn. Or something. I think I need a little bit more under this corner of her hat. I do. Let's give this a little shot here. Okay. Alright, there we go. And let's see what else I laid out here. They kind of got all shoved to the side, didn't they? Okay. I didn't ink around my upper one, but we're going to ink around this one. In too big a hurry to get that one down because I was afraid that I wouldn't be able to pull my little girl back up. So, when you're decorating things, sometimes it's best to just decorate the center only, or glue down the center only, so that if you want to put something under the edge of something, your glue doesn't dry and then you end up not being able to do that. So, and since this has the numbers and things, I don't think I'm going to add any kind of lace or ribbon or anything kind of frilly on this. Let's see, I think I put glue on the wrong one first. So we're going to slide that one down and we'll get some glue on this piece. Then maybe we'll add, let's do this before I add the glue to it. We're going to fold it in half and give it a little sand when I locate my little sander. I know I have one here somewhere. Well, obviously I don't. But I have a little sander on my desk somewhere. Unless it got moved and I don't know where I moved it to. Well, gracious. Okay, I'm just going to use my scissors. Can't find my little sander. So we're going to just run just a little edge with my scissors here. And then we're going to take some ink and put it there. Now I have my ink dauber handy. This is what happens when you don't clean your desk. You get buried in the stuff. There we go. Oh yeah, I like that. Just gives it a little bit of a faux torn look. So we can put a piece of vintage tape on it when we are finished here, getting it glued down. I know I'm not putting anything under this, so I'm just going to glue the whole thing. I already laid it down, so I know how I want it here. Okay. And this little piece that's already been inked, it's going to go right there. Just layering up some pieces on here. All right, you are almost done. Piece of boo-boo tape. If you haven't heard of boo-boo tape, it's the same as the cello tape from Tim Holtz. Margaret at 7 Plaza has a whole digital kit with boo-boo tape. She also has an amazing digital kit with vintage photos, so check them out. Both are available on her Ko-fi site. Okay. Here's some that these are ones that I printed, but I also have some of her vintage photo in here. You know what? That popped out, so let's just use the one that I pulled out the first time, which is this one. These are just printed on some washi tape paper. Washi paper. Apparently didn't cut it out completely when I did it. So I'm just going to take my little white edge off here. Hers are digital kits. You can get then clear sticker paper, which works very well, or washi tape paper also works well. And you just simply print on there, and then you can fussy cut out your pieces of tape. You'll never run out of vintage looking tape, and you won't have to go to this process of trying to make it every time you want to use it. So she's just got all kinds of different colors, like age tape type colors. And here is a peek at her vintage photo. I've got a strip of it in here. She has vintage photo pieces. Again, you print them on clear, works better, or you can print them on washi tape, which will give it a little bit more of an opaque look. But they're just really cool. All right, so we're gonna put this piece right across here. And I'm gonna really push that down on there and go along the edge and push it down with my fingernail. Let me make sure I get it down. All right. So there we have our hidden journaling spot. You can glue it down in the journal or slip it in a pocket. And there we go. There's one and done. I think that's all I'm going to do on camera today. I thank you all for coming. Be sure you like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in my next video. Hope to. Bye for now.